Hey guys, Sam here. In part one of this video, I'm going to talk about closing costs that are traditionally covered by the seller. Now, real estate closing is when the sale documents are received and signed, payment changes hands, and ownership of the property is transferred from the seller to the buyer. Now, additionally, when a home is sold, there are additional fees, taxes, and services that must be covered on top of the price of the property itself. Now, these are the closing costs. So in part one of this video, I will cover the closing costs that are traditionally covered by the seller. Part two, I'll talk about the closing costs that are traditionally covered by the buyer. Let's go. Hey guys, so let's talk about what are some of the closing costs that are traditionally covered by the seller. So one of the closing costs a seller might find is title search or examination. Now, a clear ownership of the property must be established, and a marketable title must be also established in order to ensure that there are no outstanding claims, no judgments or liens. This is important. This can cost a few $100s, and any liens or encumbrances identified must be satisfied before the sale. So you don't want to have any issues with title before closing. You want to make sure that all those things are covered and you have a clear title to transfer over to the new buyer. Property taxes definitely will be on the closing statement that the seller will have to cover or pay. And property taxes, these are paid in arrears or 1 year behind. So the seller would pay or be credited a prorated amount based on the date the purchaser assumes ownership. So property taxes definitely they'll see on their closing statement. Real estate fees, seller usually covers if the seller has a real estate agent to use and to list the property. Sellers would pay the agent's brokerage and they will pay them a commission. And this fee will cover any other agents that are involved in the transaction. Also covers marketing expenses like photos, social media, and those type of things. So those are some of the costs that the seller would pay. Mortgage payoff, if they have a mortgage, then obviously any outstanding mortgage on the home must be paid in full before closing. And this can include second mortgages. So you want to make sure, well, the seller has to make sure that if they do have a mortgage, they know the balance, what's owed, and that they can cover it in the closing. Other costs that the seller may be responsible for, but this is usually optional, is the home warranty fee. Usually you'll see this with new construction, but if the seller wants to offer a warranty on the home, maybe the appliances, they want to offer a year warranty, things like that, they'll usually cover that cost. Now, these are the most common fees encountered that a seller would cover in a closing. There are other fees I didn't cover that are usually negotiated, but the ones that I mentioned are usually the most common. Now in the next video, I'm going to talk about some of the fees that are covered by the buyer. So if you have any questions about this one, leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on the next one.